Alright, so we're gonna make some food. I got a lot of ingredients on the table. I'll show you what they are here in a bit. So we're gonna do some more cooking today. Alright, so on the table here I got some meat. I got some boneless top sirloin strips here. I got some chicken breasts. That's gonna go into a vegetable stir fry, what I'm gonna make. I got some bell peppers here, some red pepper and yellow bell pepper. Then we got here some carrots. I probably won't use the whole thing. We got some garlic. That's a tomato and a zucchini squash. Some green onions there. We're gonna make some scallions with that, I suppose. That is asparagus. These are beer pong wells, and we got some potatoes, onion. I got here an oyster sauce and some chili garlic sauce. We're gonna use that to make sauce for the stir fry. To cut up all the shit, I'm gonna use this new blade. I've never used it before. It's a Kyocera ceramic blade that I got from Uline. So I'm gonna give it a try, see how it works, see if I like the knife to cut all my shit with. If it doesn't, then whatever, I'll let you know. But menu today is vegetable stir fry with chicken. I'm gonna make some potatoes, some pepper potatoes. I think I made that last time, and obviously some meat. So a lot of protein here and a lot of vegetables. We'll get this going, so we'll see how it goes. So I will take this blade here. So we're gonna cut up the chicken here. So take a look at this how much chicken we got here. Yeah, I got a whole big fucking thing. I didn't buy the strips because they didn't have any left over, so I'm left to cut this motherfucker by myself, which is fine. It's no problem. I can cut chicken. At least I think I can. So I washed the blade, washed my hands. So we're gonna just cut this up here. I'm not a professional chef, so I might cut this I might do this all jacked up, but fuck it, we'll see. I'm gonna cut it into like little small strips. That's not working. So here we go. I'm gonna cut it up into small strips. That way it can cook faster. I'm not gonna cook it over the open fire. I'm gonna cook it in the pan, as per the recipe that I stole on YouTube. But we'll give it a go here. So we'll cut as much strips as I can. I'm gonna use the whole piece of chicken for this thing. I'm more kind of leaning towards just having extra chicken with vegetables. So getting that done, I'm doing the whole thing, and now I'm realizing that I could have used more chicken, but that's okay. If that's the case, then that's the case. Blade is cutting the chicken just fine, actually. It's doing okay. I'm probably not doing it right, but whatever. Almost kind of like a fajita style chicken strips that we want to do. It is a stir fry. What's that piece? Okay, that looks good. Probably don't need to be that big, so that one was a little difficult here. So I don't think I need them that long, so I'll probably just go back and kind of re-shorten some of them. That's probably gonna be fine. No kind of rhyme or reason on how I'm cutting this. I'm just trying to make them as strippy as I can. I'm using the entire chicken, even with the fat. I hope nobody's watching and getting irked by how I'm cutting this, telling me that I'm doing it wrong. If that's the case, like I said, I'm not a pro. Blade is doing pretty good though, as far as cutting the chicken with no. I think it's more the the board is moving around. I have a tiny cutting board that just likes to move the fuck around. So there's some more pieces here. These are gonna be kind of square pieces, but that's fine. Yep, that looks good. So just basically cutting this up. Nothing to it. Just cutting up some chicken. And that is pretty close. All right. Nice. All right, well, chicken's done and cut for the most part. So now we're gonna go outside and we're gonna cook this fucking shit outside. Okay, so I'm outside here, the grill. I got the pan here. Normally we want to use a wok for this, but I don't have one, so we'll just use one of these. So, sorry. I'm gonna put some vegetable oil here. A little bit. That looks good. Put that fucking thing back over here. Move that around here. So, use pretty much whatever oil you want. I happen to use vegetable oil, which is fine. I'm gonna get the chicken. I'm gonna just dump it right in there. All right, chicken's down. So I'm just gonna basically just make it kind of spread it around here a little bit. I'm gonna let that cook in there for a little while. I'm gonna cover it up. You kind of want to do that on high heat. Unfortunately, this grill is gonna only produce so much heat. So it's only gonna get as hot as it's gonna get. So I'm gonna cover it up, and I'm gonna let that cook there while I cut up all my vegetables. Now that the chicken is down, I'm gonna cut up the vegetables here. So while the chicken's cooking, that's what I'll do. I washed the knife and the cutting board from all the chicken shit. So now it's just a matter of cutting these things up here. Trying to cut it so that it comes up pretty good. Nice and sharp, this fucking thing. Very nice and sharp. So, probably don't need. So I cut it up this way to avoid the seeds. We're not going to use them. Sometimes if you want to use them, that's fine. I'm not going to use them. I don't like them. I just want the skin. So I'm going to throw this away. Shit. Okay. So then we're just going to flatten this. Probably just going to cut in half. And then cut these things in strips. Very good. This is perfect, actually, the way these are cut. Nice and thin. It's brilliant. I'm cutting them this way because that way the juices don't leave them. The juices can stay within the actual pepper. This blade is fucking sharp. No accidents. It smells great, I gotta tell you. This pepper smells really good. Nice and thin. Starting to bleed a little bit, but that's okay. That's good. 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 I gotta change up my cutting technique. I'm not being able to get all the way through here. So. There you go. Okay, yellow. That one is getting cut. You, sir, are done with the cutting here. I'm gonna do the red one now. I'm gonna take this fucking thing off. I don't need it. That's trash now. Kind of do the same thing. Just kind of cut in and see where I'm at here. Get a good, just the skin here. Don't want any of the, any of this inside shit. Don't need it. It's probably fine here. So I just left with this, and I don't need it now. Cut these up into strips. The red one I think is a little smaller. Very good. I'll try this one upside down. Yeah, that's a little easier for me, I think. Yeah, that's easier. You do you, I do me. Okay. Just cut it into strips. They're gonna be big strips. Got a lot of chicken down there, so that's gonna be good. I can already tell this is gonna be good. Just the thing about peppers is that you can eat them raw or cooked, and they taste the same. They taste good either way. So I do like that. So once I get separation here, that's done. I'm gonna introduce here another vegetable here. Let's see if I can get it ready. After I cut up the peppers, I came out here to check on the chicken. There's some movement here. Chicken is simmering into some juices, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave that and let that chicken juice kind of evaporate. And then I'm gonna add some salt to that, and I think that's it. While it kind of does that, so I'm only gonna leave that there. I'm gonna add salt for about a minute. Let that sit there for about a minute, and then I'm gonna just take it out, and then because it's cooked enough, I don't want to overcook it. I just added some salt to the chicken, so that's gonna be done. We're gonna go back here with the vegetables here, and we're gonna start cutting some of this up. This is a zucchini squash. I couldn't decide if I wanted to go to cut them up in little rings, little strips, or if I wanted to julienne them, which is kind of do it in strips. I think just kind of in the interest of keeping things different, I'll just probably do it this way, and only because it's just gonna be kind of easier for me to cut. But what I can do is maybe kind of meet in the middle and do a cut like that. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. I think that looks better. Nice. So now I'll probably just, yeah, I think that's going to be better. So, I'm going thin here, only because the interest is getting them to cook faster. Not too thin, but, you know, hey, that's okay. These vegetables are just something that I like. There's no one recipe that has vegetables. Some recipes I saw online that had mushrooms, and I really don't like mushrooms, so I left them off. A lot of the recipes I found didn't have tomatoes, so I kind of take things and make it your own, I suppose. Pretty easy to cut. The knife so far is doing well. You know, it's cutting, you know, really good. Staying dry. Doesn't make everything too wet. Doesn't make everything kind of bleed here. I think that's gonna be good. All right. Oops. All right, some peppers here, some zucchini squash. I still have the asparagus that we're gonna do. and the tomato, and that's gonna be kind of the bulk of our start here, and then we'll add the scallion a little later. I'm gonna go check on the chicken. The chicken might be already done. I have to take it out. Chicken still has a minute to go. You notice I didn't really season the chicken. My buddy Luis, my last video, had recommended that I put some citrus seasoning on that. This particular one, because we're going to use a sauce, I purposely chose not to season this chicken. I threw a little salt on there just so I can give it some sort of kick, but the stir-fry sauce is going to have enough flavor for us to be able to omit that. So I'm just gonna, it's still kind of simmering here. I'm gonna wait until, maybe I'm gonna give it another minute or so. I'll wait till the chicken starts to see a little bit of brown here. So probably about 1 more minute, and then I'll take the chicken out and we'll use the same pan to use the vegetables. All right, we got some asparagus here. So it's kind of got a rubber band around it here. I'm just gonna kind of try to straighten this up as much as I can. Take out that entire bottom part here, which I'm not gonna need. So that's as good as trash. So on these little fuckers, it's basically just a pretty simple one stroke of genius here. I'm gonna go bam. So that's, I'm gonna leave them in whole like that, and then the rest of these we're just gonna go ahead and about maybe 1 inch. And that's probably going to be the easiest cut we make today. We'll throw these things in the hole like that, and that's a lot of asparagus. Probably don't need as much, but it's going to be very asparagus-y. I think I just made up a word. Alright, so the chicken is nice and brown. Pretty much cooked all the way through, so not burned. And it's actually looking pretty good. So I'm just now going to finish cutting up the rest of the vegetables, and we're going to work on our stir fry. The next thing we're going to do is our sauce. So let's move on to that. All right, chicken was done faster than we thought. So we're going to move on to our sauce here. We still have some more vegetables to cut. I'll do that later, but I wanted to work on the sauce real quick. It's going to be real quick. I got some soy sauce here. I didn't mention that earlier. Puts I think that's about 1/4 cup, something like that. I'm measuring this time. So we're gonna put some oyster sauce. I don't know how much I'm gonna put in, so I'm just gonna put in as much as I feel looks decent. So probably not a whole bunch. So maybe a few splashes of that shit in there. Okay. So that's oyster sauce, and that's all we're gonna need. Then I'll take a spoon here. We're gonna put some chili sauce here. It's chili garlic sauce, and I'm only gonna put like maybe a spoonful here, half a spoonful. Okay, maybe a little more, just give it a little bit of kick. Okay, we're done with the chili sauce. We are gonna put in, should have had all these ingredients out, but it's regular sugar, maybe a pinch of sugar here, like a handful. Bam, sugar right in there. Make it a little sweet, why not? That's done. Okay, mix that in, then we're gonna add 1/2 cup of water. And that's gonna be our sauce. That might be too much water. So when we have all the vegetables down and we put the chicken in, we'll have some of that sauce, and that's gonna make it. Hopefully it comes out good. It looks kind of shitty. Okay, moving on. I am gonna do a tomato. I do like tomatoes, so I'm gonna go ahead and add tomato to my stir fry here. You don't have to if you don't want to. A lot of people don't. I most certainly will. So I'm gonna cut this. Basically gonna just cut it in half. Get rid of all the excess. And ideally we'd be cut it in squares. And yes, I do wish I had a bigger cutting board here. So we're gonna make some big cuts here as much as we can, and then just just cut the tomato up. Nice big chunks. I don't mind, not at all. I'm waited till last to do the tomato because it's the juiciest, but also with waiting last, you tend to fill up the cutting board here. So we're gonna move on with our big chunks here. I can cut onions all day without crying. Can't cut fucking tomatoes to save my life. But here we go. Individually. So that's there. So we're gonna take this, the same pan that we used to cook the chicken, and there's still some chicken broth in there. We're just gonna dump all this in. I don't know if I can film that because I need 2 hands, but you'll see it when I do it. And there you go. Here are your vegetables down. That's a lot of vegetables. I think my vegetable to chicken ratio is maybe a little uneven, but that's okay. This is my first time cooking this. So I'm going to let it simmer right there in its own juices. I'm going to leave it open for a little bit at first. And then I'm going to add the scallion, and then I'm going to add the garlic in after that. Alright, I had forgotten about the onion, so we got to do that pretty quick here. Kind of peeled one up already. So we're cutting them long ways here, so I didn't do that one right. I'm not going to do diced onions this time. We're basically just going to take them just like that. Yep. Do them in their natural strips, and then we're gonna just add them into the whole thing here. So I'm gonna do a whole onion, okay? And that one is cut just fine. Yep. Thin enough? Yeah. See, this way is cutting onions really good. That's what I wanted to do. Okay. So before I get to the garlic, I'm gonna add these onions here real quick. All right. So something fucking happened with my camera, so I couldn't show you how to. That I did some garlic. I did 4 cloves of garlic, and I did some scallion. I did cut them in about a 1/2 inch. So I went ahead and added them already. So there's some, and I added the chicken back. Okay, so there's the vegetables. There's with the chicken in it. I'm gonna let that sit here closed, just so that can get hotter. I'm gonna let that sit here for about another minute, and then I'm gonna add the sauce. All right, so it's been about a minute. I'm just gonna go ahead and add this sauce here. That looks gonna be good. So let me just grab the my stirrer here. Give me a second here. Go back into this kitchen. So that kind of cooled down everything here. So I'm just gonna stir it up here a little bit, mix it up, spread those onions out. Again, I screwed up on a video here, but I cut up some garlic cloves, diced them, and some. I also added the scallion. I did mention earlier about carrots. We decided not to go with the carrots just because this is already kind of too full as it is. Nice little. So I'm gonna cover that up and let that go for about another minute. All right, I got the vegetables out, and they smell really good. I had a bite. Helped myself already. This is really good. Not bad for the first time I've ever made it. I think it was a lot more than I thought it was. I only bought one of everything, but I used the whole thing. I used 2 full bell peppers, and I used an onion. I used a whole squash, some garlic, and a whole tomato. So it's a lot. Nice and juicy. The sauce I made a little watery, so I think the learning curve is next time I won't use as much water. I think I put it was a 1/4 cup of soy sauce and a 1/2 cup of water. I'll just dump that down to a 1/2 cup of both. The oyster sauce gave a good kick, the garlic made a good kick, and the chili sauce I think is the secret ingredient of this fucking thing right here. I'll probably put more of this next time just to add a little bit more spice to it. But it smells so good. Just making the entire house smell so good. It's the bell peppers and that sauce is just really good. So I'm really gonna enjoy this. I might have some for dinner tonight, even though this is meal prep for the week. But that's the vegetables. Next thing to go is the potatoes. I had to take these out because I only have the one pan and I have to use that pan to make the potatoes. It's gonna be the same peppered potatoes I made last time and then I'm also just gonna put down some meat. And that's going to be the food for the week. But this was the kind of main dish here that I wanted to highlight, and I think it turned out really good, and I can't wait to just dig in. Okay, I got another test for my ceramic knife here. I'm going to cut up some potatoes. I peeled up 4 potatoes, just because I'm going to make that pepper and potato stuff. I think 4 is going to be enough. They're small. And we have to make enough to last for the week. So we're gonna go here. I had a drink of my beer, sorry. So that's cutting through nice and easy here. So these are small, so I probably don't have to do a whole lot of cutting. They are gonna be as cubed as I can. And that's all she's gonna need. Yeah, that's perfect. Nice and small. They'll cook faster that way. These are small potatoes as compared to the ones I used last time. So we'll just kind of go in and cut. No rhyme or reason as far as the thinness. I'm probably doing about a 1/2 inch, 3/4, depending on where I land. But that's looking good here, there. So. Potatoes are good with anything. You know, I made a vegetable dish. I'm very, very happy about how that came out. So with potatoes and vegetables and then the steak that I'm going to cook, I think that's going to be pretty good lunch for the next couple days. Very, very excited about how those vegetables came out. Very off camera, I've been kind of eating them already, so I'm very much enjoying them. There's a solid chance that they might not make it till Monday, but that's okay. So this one I did a little more cuts than normal. So there's that. I think four potatoes is actually gonna work out to be perfect. So that's, you're done. So I'm doing kind of a 3 thing here. And then just get the fuck out of the way. There you go. I'm liking the blade so far. I think I'll use it. I'm making it seem like if somebody gave it to me to use, but I just got it for free. I always wanted to try to see how it was like to cut with a ceramic blade, and I'm really liking it. And I think I'm just going to use this knife moving forward. I still have my stainless steel one. I do like that one. This one I haven't really had to sharpen yet. I'm just kind of going based on its first usage. I just washed it really, and it's kind of I am enjoying using it. It's making things a little easier as far as the cut is. Okay. Still got the pan on the fire there. Haven't cooled it down. I am going to add a little more oil to that. And then these things are going to just jump right on. It's brilliant. Alright. Off to the fire you go. Okay, potatoes are down. Alright, so we're going to do our ritual here, our pepperness. That's a lot of fucking pepper. I use the open end here, so I dumped out a lot. That's gonna be more than enough. Oops. So I got pepper. I'm also gonna use, there you go, a little bit of Lowry seasoned salt here. Oops. So, yeah, that's good. Oops, sorry. Sorry, hard to do this with one hand. I need to get a video guy. So you're in there. I'm gonna mix that up a little bit. Actually, let me do that now. So you're done. I'm gonna grab this motherfucker right here. So I put some oil in that. I didn't clean the pan from the vegetable dish. I just kind of left it the way it was. Let it soak in that vegetable juice, and just that sauce was, you know, I gotta tell you, man, for the first time you making that thing, I'm pretty satisfied with that. So that's mixed around, nice and peppery, and got some seasoning in that. And for this dish, this is pretty much all you need. Nothing doing. I am gonna put some garlic salt on that, actually. You know what? I am gonna do that. So here's some garlic salt here. So put you there. Try to do it so you guys can see that. That's gonna be nice. So I was thinking of cutting up a clove of garlic for this one, but I think the garlic salt will do it just fine. So I'm just gonna mix that up a little bit. Oops, oh, stray here. All right, cover that up. I'm gonna let it sit there for a bit. Once that's done, I can start cooking my meat. The meat will cook the fastest, so I'm almost done here. So, but this is gonna take the longest, probably as long as it did for the vegetables. So while I wait for this, I'm gonna go hit up those vegetables and eat. All right, so the potatoes are done. That was pretty quick. Nothing to it. I made them 4. They're just basic cut up potatoes with a lot of pepper, a little bit of garlic pepper, some Lowry seasoned salt, and some regular salt. And that's gonna look good. Let me try that here. Yeah, nice and cooked all the way through. So between that, those awesome vegetables I just made, and now it's time to cook the meat. And I'll use the same grill, but I'm done with the pan, so I'm gonna put it in the sink and I'll wash dishes later. But this is done. Okay, so the meat is actually pretty easy. Nothing to it. I'm a pretty simple guy. In case you didn't know by now, I'm not a vegetarian. I will eat meat. Love meat. So let me see if I can get it to you guys to see here. So these are sirloin steaks. Okay, I figure it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll eat 1 per day for lunch. So basically, with anything with steak, it's all about the seasoning. So it's going to be pepper. All right. So I'm going to season the top here before I put it on the grill. Fucking flies. And then once it's on the grill, I'll season the other side. We typically cook it more on one side. It's gonna be these guys here. I will need both hands to put on the grill, so I won't film that, but once it's on there, you'll see what it looks like. It's gonna be good. I think with this and the vegetables and the potatoes, I got myself a nice little setup there. See? All right, so there's pepper, nice and peppery. I love pepper. Okay, I'm gonna take some Lowry seasoned salt here. Just throw that bitch on there. That one goes on a little easier. Oh, here you go. Nice and nice and nice. So I'll throw those on the grill. Just kind of rub it in a little bit. You can smell the spice on that. Throw this on the grill. That should be good for like 8 minutes or some shit. So, all right, thanks. All right, so I put them down. They're face down, and I always forget when I cook. I pass the shadow. Meat's down. They look really good, actually, but I suppose it's because I'm hungry. So we're gonna. Sorry, I went went to go get the pepper here. So just gonna season the other side of here while they're cooking. And I might be running out. It's fucking windy out here, even though it's hot. So that's that. Let me grab the layers here. Oops, it's okay. I know why my girl gets filthy. So we'll leave it there for just a couple of minutes. I'm gonna close this, and I'll come back in about maybe a few minutes to see how it looks, and then I'll flip them over, and then we'll be done with our cooking today. Okay, I think we're done. So this was the main thing today. We got the vegetable and chicken stir fry done. Particularly proud of that. I got my usual potatoes with pepper. Put some salt and Laurie seasoned salt on that, garlic salt also, and just simple meat. Sirloin steaks, about 6 of them. I put again more pepper. I love pepper, and Laurie seasoned salt on that. And I just put it up on an open fire. I took maybe 10 minutes to cook that. So between these 3, I think will last me the week. Got myself a good one here this time around. So looking forward to digging in. I might have some tonight actually. So thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. If anybody watches this and says and has either recommendations or do's and do nots, always open to suggestions. Otherwise, thanks for taking the time out of your day and watching me cook. And but I'm not gonna make you watch me eat. So enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys. Have a good one.